Have you ever considered using the same real estate agent for both buying and selling a home? This arrangement is known as dual agency, where one agent represents both the buyer and the seller in a single transaction. While it might seem efficient, dual agency involves unique complexities, risks, and rules that you should understand. I'm here to simplify real estate decisions with clear explanations and practical examples. Dual agency occurs when a single licensed real estate agent, or sometimes an entire brokerage, represents both the buyer and the seller in the exact same property transaction. On the seller's side, the agent lists the property, markets it, and advises on pricing, owing duties like loyalty and confidentiality. Conversely, for the buyer, the same agent would help find the home, analyze its value, draft offers, and negotiate terms, also owing loyalty and confidentiality. This creates a potential conflict, as the agent's loyalties to both parties can directly clash. Dual agency regulations vary significantly by location. Some areas permit it with informed written consent, while others prohibit it entirely. Always check your local laws and brokerage policies to understand the specific rules in your area. When an agent represents you, they typically owe fiduciary duties like loyalty, confidentiality, and disclosure.
In dual agency, the duties of loyalty and confidentiality often collide, making it challenging for one person to advocate for opposing interests. To manage this conflict, dual agents may reduce their advocacy, acting more as neutral coordinators providing facts rather than strategic advice.
Dual agency often arises out of convenience, such as at an open house where you ask the listing agent to write your offer.
It can also occur with off market listings or in small towns where agent options are limited. While convenient, this should not replace informed decision making.
Potential pros include speed, direct communication, and the listing agent's deep property knowledge. However, significant cons include reduced advocacy, confidentiality tension, and the perception of bias. It's difficult for one person to negotiate effectively against themselves, potentially limiting optimal outcomes for either party. If dual agency is allowed, it requires clear, written, informed consent from both the buyer and seller. This consent should detail how the agent's duties change and what confidential information cannot be disclosed. You always have the right to say no to dual agency and seek separate representation. Before agreeing, ask critical questions like, is dual agency legal here, and how will your duties change? Inquire about how your confidentiality will be protected and what happens if a conflict arises mid-deal. Consider alternatives like designated agency, where different agents within the same brokerage represent each side. Another option is a transaction broker or facilitator who assists both parties with paperwork but doesn't advocate for either. The classic model involves separate brokerages, with each side having its own agent for full advocacy. Red flags include pressure to sign quickly or an agent avoiding questions about their changing duties. Always get everything in writing, limit sharing your bottom line, and ask for data rather than strategic advice. For maximum advocacy, consider getting your own agent or exploring designated agency. If you're comfortable with a neutral facilitator, ensure it's allowed and properly documented. Understanding dual agency empowers you to make the best decision for your real estate journey.